Hey everybody, it's just my opinion, Bob, and it's May 25th, 2025, and it's Memorial Day weekend. Hope everybody's enjoying themselves and doing all right. My last video I did on portable equipment that I use when there's no AC power available, and I was going to do this video with a bunch of stuff, but I changed my mind. Before I start, though, let me tell you, I don't know how many of you have ever tried to track down the first guitar you ever owned. It's kind of a nostalgia thing. Maybe it wasn't the greatest guitar. Maybe it was. Maybe it was something, it was a gift or something or handed down. But a lot of people like to track down memory lane and relive that first guitar. Well, I did too. And it took me 69 years to track it down. I got my first guitar when I was 3 years old. It was in 1956. And I've been hunting for it for a while now. I just wanted to relive that nostalgia, and I finally found it. So, and it's in mint condition. Let me show you. Here it is. It's a guitar, not a guitar. It's a guitar. It's a Mickey Mouse. This is a classic, 1955 these were out. And it's got the little crank on the side. And it's just, this was my first guitar. So let me show you what I was doing. I hope you can see this okay. Let me see if I can get this without the glare on it. Well, that's me at 3 years old with that guitar. I don't think it shows up too well on this. And I don't know how else to do it, to tell you the truth. There, how's that? That's me at 3 years old with that guitar. So with the Mickey Mouse ears and everything, I redid the picture the other day, and I have this on my Facebook group page. I bought the Mickey Mouse ears and everything. So yeah. That was my first guitar. I went and heard my grandfather play. He was doing a musical event for an opening of a shopping center nearby. And I was just enthralled with seeing him playing live a guitar, and I had to have one. So that's what they got me for my birthday. Comes with a hard shell case, not really hard shell, kind of cardboard, but came with a case. Found it on Marketplace. Lady was selling stuff of her dad's in Tennessee. And she was kind enough to ship it to me, and we worked everything out, and I was thrilled. So that's that. That's my first guitar. And you'll have to let me know what your first guitar was. So again, it was 1956. I was 3 years old. And it took me 69 years, but I found it. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the equipment. I was going to show you everything I use for powered stuff, and I said, why? Why am I going to drag all that out? I told you before, I don't buy anything I have to use two hands to pick up, I don't buy. And I like to have things kind of streamlined. I don't know what you people like to do, but I like to have things as streamlined as I could to make as few trips as I have to make. The only difference maybe between you and I, and maybe we have similar things, is if you're just playing guitar, with people, and you don't need to sing, there's a lot of amps that'll cover what you need. For instance, my go-to amp for electric guitar and acoustic guitar, if I am not singing, just playing the guitar, would be the Boss Cantata 50, the Mark II. That's the one I like. For the electric guitar, it has all the effects I need, so I don't need the stomp box, I don't need the foot pedals. It has everything in there that I need in the amp. For acoustic, it sounds fine, has all the settings I need. It'll keep up with an acoustic drum set. It'll keep up with everything. It's a screamer. It's great. It's lightweight, easy to carry, and it's loud and quality sound. But 90 to 80% of the time, I'm singing and playing guitar. And when you're singing, unless you have better results than me, you never want the voice just to be mixed in with the instruments, with the guitars. It never comes across good. Whether you're a good singer or a lousy singer, they got to hear you to tell you you're either lousy or good. But if they can't hear you, and you're out performing or playing, all that happens is the crowd takes over, but blah, 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 and nobody's paying attention. Glasses are clinking. Nobody's even listening to you. Some of the songs I play, that's a good thing. Maybe I don't want to listen. But I just wanted to show you what I use most of the time because I need to sing and play. And for that, I have to have it elevated. I'm a firm believer, and you got to have the sound go overhead. You can't have it from the floor. All you're going to entertain is those people sitting in front of you. The vocals have to cut through. So this is what I use. This is made a trip to Harbor Freight. Got myself a toolbox. Lift this up with one hand, all right? And in this toolbox, I have everything that I need. Well, most of the stuff I need, where I can walk in with one hand. I have a headset mic if I want to use it. This is I showed you this in my acoustic stuff. So if I don't want to bring a mic stand and stuff, I can just use that. It has the adapter to hold the iPad onto the mic stand that I was telling you about. All this miscellaneous stuff. If you need a gooseneck, my cables, everything. My outlet strip, everything is contained in this toolbox. Along with the PA. And I've showed you this on different occasions. This is a PA I use. Whoop, watch it there, Fred. 2 4.5-inch speakers, got a tweeter, 3-channel mixer on the back. It's just got your treble, bass, volume, XLR connectors, 1/4-inch connectors, master, and these can be daisy chained. So you can daisy chain these, and it has the pole mounting socket, which to me is very important. And you can use one, you can use two. I have 3 of them. They're great. They used to be very inexpensive, and now they're about $120 or something. They're still good. And again, there's my outlet strip. This holds everything. It also holds. Everybody's got a favorite toy, a favorite device. This is my favorite device. This is what I need. This is a product by TC Helicon, and it's called. They make a lot of them. There's a lot of different ones, but this is a Perform VG. All right, it's TC Helicon, and it's Perform V as in Victor, George, G. And this has everything that I want. This clips right onto your mic stand, so it's right at the same level as your iPad or anything else you're using on your mic stand. Very, very convenient. You plug your microphone into this, into the back, an XLR, and then an XLR out that goes into your PA, into your amp. You also plug your guitar into this. So you're just using one channel on the PA. You plug your guitar into this, you plug your microphone into this, and then the output goes into the PA. This device, one side is set up for your vocal. This side here is set up for your guitar. So with the touch of a finger, you have your chorus, your reverb, and your echo for your guitar. And you can mix and sort any way you want. For your vocal, you have the echo, the reverb, and your harmony. This thing is loaded with different harmonies. You don't have to program it. There's nothing to program. When you are playing your guitar and you hit a G chord, this recognizes you've hit a G chord, and when you sing, it will harmonize with that. There's nothing, there's no science to it, nothing to figure out, no learning curve. Whatever chord you play, it will harmonize with your voice. Now you can pick different harmonies, because that's what I use this for mainly, plus the effects, because the PA has no effects. So I like to have everything right here, and I can control it with my fingers, the volume knob, how much of an effect I want. Everything's done right there in front of me at the mic stand. Nothing on the floor. Don't have to go to another unit to adjust anything. It's all right in front of me. You can set up your echo and reverb for your voice, and you know how sometimes that's doctored quite a bit. Then there's a button just to hit. It'll override that when you're just making an announcement to the crowd. It'll just give you your natural, cuts out all the effects. Very, very efficient. Let me talk about the harmonies for a minute. There's a bunch of different harmonies in here. And you just pick the harmony you want, and then anytime you want it while you're playing, you just hit the button and the harmony will come on, and when you're done with it, you hit it again and it'll shut it off. But what I use is a 3-button foot switch, which also stays in this box. Everything comes out of this box. It's like the Banana Man on Captain Kangaroo. This box holds everything. It just keeps on coming. Whoa, wow. Anyways, 3-button foot switch. This gives me 3 different harmonies. I can pick which harmonies I want. Now for me, I like to have a male lower voice and a female higher voice on one setting. Another setting, I like to have a female higher voice with another female even higher. So 2 high, a high, then higher. A third setting, I like to have a female voice to the highest. And there's 3 different harmonies I have. I have another foot switch. It has 6 buttons on it. You can program in 6 different harmonies if you want. But 3 is usually all I use. And like any toy, you don't overdo it. You use it for a little flavor, a little taste. You start using it all the time, and you just sound like phony baloney. So this is a tool I can't do without. It has everything on here for me. It has the body res for the guitar. It has 48-volt power supply. It has the tone for the guitar. It has the anti-feedback loop. It's a musician's delight, I'll tell you. You have the mix function. You have a perfect pitch in here. It'll give you that. It's just loaded with everything. And this is a device I just love. And it's one of the few devices I bought 2 of, because if something ever happens to one, I want to have another one. So that's it. And this all fits. Everything fits in this toolbox. You know? Pretty neat. So you just walk in with this, and also it's good protection when the weather's not bad, and it all goes in one hand, just like that. Pretty nice. So that's basically the equipment I like to use when I have power, when I have AC power. That more than covers it. If it's a big job and I need high output, I'm playing with an acoustic drum set or something, and a lot of people are loud, then I use a big PA powered speaker I have. But you got to bring all the cables, all the other stuff, and nutsing around. This is all right in this one box. Everything else you have to, it's more of an effort. But it gets the job done. So you have to use the right tool for the right job, which we all know. So that's that. If you have any questions about that, let me know. But boy, that TC Helicon device, if you've never played with one, and the best part about it is it's simple, you know. And I don't know if it's because I'm old or what. I don't know. I don't think it's because I'm old. If I was young, I'd feel the same way. They make another product called, I think it's called Live Voice. TC Helicon Live Voice. Maybe I've got the name wrong, but I think that's what it is. They made Live Voice 1, Live Voice 2, Live Voice 3. They keep improving it. And I had one. I had 2 of them. And wow, they're incredible. But my son told a friend of his, he goes, yeah, my dad's got that TC Helicon Live Voice. And he goes, wow. He says, boy, your dad must be a pretty high-tech guy. He says, the learning curve on that thing is phenomenal. And I thought to myself, learning curve, my gosh. I think it would probably take me 6 months to figure out how that thing worked. It was so complicated. And who wants to do that? I mean, geez, I'd rather practice the guitar, I guess, than spend all the time working on that. But this device here is a no-brainer. It's a push a button and turn a dial. That's all you got to know. There's nothing more to it. And to have the convenience being right on the mic stand, it's powered. It doesn't run on batteries. You have to use a wall wart, whatever. But it's a super product. I'm so glad I stumbled across that. There's a lot of people on YouTube to demonstrate it too. But it's the Perform VG, because they make just a Perform Play. They make all these different ones, just like they make a Play acoustic TC Helicon. And that's nice. There's a lot of different harmonies already programmed in, but the guitar only has one setting. Now on the new one, they've updated it, and they'll allow you different settings for the guitar. But to me, I just do this on the fly. You just do it right when you're in the room. You haven't got to go back and open the thing up and set all these things. You just push a button. Easy peasy. So with that said, as you know, I don't like to offend anybody. I try not to, and I said something in one of my videos, and hey, I was talking about buying the guitars from China. Right now, as I said, this is May 2025, and we are still in a chaotic state in the United States as far as this tariff situation and everything else. There's small builders in China that make excellent guitars. Now there's bigger companies in China. There's Eastman, Bourgeois. Well, Bourgeois is being made by Eastman. There's Recording King, Orangewood. A lot of these companies are making Chinese guitars, have American ties and stores here. That's not much of a problem. There's price increases to cover problems, but there's not much of a problem. But if you want to buy direct, from a small builder over in China, it's not a good time to do that. It's not a good time at all. This tariff nonsense, nobody knows what's going on. So from my own experience, I know of several people that have ordered guitars from over there, paid for them, and have been sitting in customs for almost 3 months now because nobody's sure what to do, and they're not letting this stuff out. It's just a nightmare. So with all that said, I made a remark and I said, these numbskulls or whatever I said that we have in office right now are responsible for that. They couldn't manage anything. And somebody took offense by that and sent me a comment with a political rant going on about how Biden did this and Biden did that and he was no good. I never mentioned Biden. He must have assumed that I was pro-Biden or whatever. All I said was the current situation. I feel this guy is not capable of handling it. He doesn't know what he's doing. It's just making it worse. And now we are worse from when we even started with the tariffs. But that's another story. Anyways, just to be clear, I am not a Republican. I am not a Democrat. I am not, and I don't believe in the whole system. To me, this guy, the whole system is gone. I don't know if it's ever going to come back. It's going to probably take a catastrophe maybe to have it come back. I really have lost faith in that whole system. Neither party is capable of handling it right now. And it's just like a free-for-all. So that's where I stand. So please, don't send me anything political. It's just a comment I made. I just don't like the way things are going right now. That's all. And if you do leave one of those political comments, I'm not going to respond. I'm sorry, but let's just talk about music. And maybe some of you are just thrilled the way everything's going, and good for you, and maybe some of you feel like I do. So it's just a mixed bag. So what are you going to do? But on that note, I just wanted to mention, be very careful with your money buying from over there. I showed a video a while back of a lot of Martins and different guitars I've bought. And I made one haul before all this nonsense started. I could see the writing on the wall. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people scratching right now looking, where's my guitar? They can't get it. And some of them, who knows, it's just in limbo until all this mess is straightened out. And it is a mess. So the other thing I wanted to say was I hope a lot of you enjoy the kind of equipment or the things I'm talking about as far as singing and playing the guitar. Because that's what I enjoy. And I don't know how much of you practice guitar. I do not practice. I don't practice the guitar at all. I take out the guitar when I'm playing with somebody. That's my practice. Somebody will bring a new song or whatever, and that's what I like to do. And on that note, I don't know who you play with or what groups you play with, but the worst thing that I can do playing with somebody is being the only person that sings. If you're the only person that sings when you're playing with people, you have no choice but to kind of dictate the songs because you're the one singing and you've got to play what you can sing. Somebody else will say, oh, hey, how about this or how about that? I just had a friend of mine put in a request, although he does sing, but he wanted the theme song from Django. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't think I've ever heard anybody in my life ever request the theme song from Django. But it must be a song that he loved. And thankfully he can sing it because I can't touch it, let alone hear it. So But that's what happens, and you don't want to do that. That's why if you have different people that sing, you get to hear, and they're probably going to pick songs maybe you've never played, and that's what I like. I like to learn something new. So keeping that in mind, and I guess that's about all I wanted to say today. And I hope I showed you something. And if you have any questions, let me know. All right. Have a good weekend.